Good morning to you, Tony. Tony in the car. That's like Tony Mobile Breakfast Club.
I just pulled into the clinic like a minute before we went live, and it's a gloomy, cloudy day. I'm like, I'm just going to talk from the car.
Just talk from the car. Yeah. I mean, it's gloomy season. We'll deal with this. This is what the Northeast brings you. Everybody's like, but you got seasons. And I'm like, I'm good with the happy seasons, but I guess we'll take the sad.
No, I will always take, I love the freezing cold because it gets me ready for spring. I love the burning hot because it gets me ready for fall. Like I was just thinking about this last night. Humans need adversity. We will find it or create it if we don't have it.
I like hot. Like I like 3 out of 4 seasons. And it's not even like I don't like winter. It's like upstate New York though. It's humid and cold. Like you do winter like in Colorado, but it's like, oh, it is. It's nice there. Winter's great. There's also sun.
Yeah, but this is the stuff that makes you appreciate the good stuff.
All right. Well, can I just like learn that and then have good stuff forever?
No, we can't. We can't do that as humans. We have to experience the adversity. This should be a marketing position for physical therapy clinics. We should be marketing to the person who understands life is amazing. We're in the most blessed time ever to be a human alive on the planet Earth. We need to embrace challenge and adversity, and either we control it by paying a therapist to make us do difficult things, or we don't control it and we let life happen. And usually that's not a great outcome.
But who do we market to? Everybody. And we try to convince the people on the side of the bell curve that are just going to go, well, can you just rub it?
Yeah.
You just shoot it with a light. Can you just like strap the thing on it? And then I'll sit here and I'll read the magazine. We want everybody to get to the end or to get into that improved place. But we spend an inordinate amount of time on those people, I guess. Is that right? That's probably right.
Yeah. No, I agree. We try to sell convenience and ease. I just heard somebody say the other day, the falsehood of convenience. It was a great podcast talking about how detrimental convenience is.
Well, what's that line? It's like hard times make hard men make easy times make easy soft men make hard times. And it's just like, it's a loop, right? Yeah. I mean, it's the same with me. I mean, I know you're right. It's like, I didn't do it on purpose. I'm wearing the shirt, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. This is the shirt when I did my first Ironman. I will wear this shirt to the rest of my life. And it says like swim 2.4, bike 112, run 26.2, brag about it for the rest of your life. But the funny part is every time I take this shirt out, I do think like, I got to do something now. Like I haven't done something. Let's look. What have I done in a while? Nothing. Like, I showed the other day. Oh, wait. Well, Jimmy's been doing something. He's doing something on his Peloton, but it's not consistent because there's no thing to shoot for. Like I'm a big dumb animal. I need 6 months from now, you're going to be on the starting line and you're going to look like a pile of crap unless you do something now, like what you do now. And I knew that even before I started paying attention. I don't know why. Bought myself, like doing an Ironman was a thing for me. None of my friends did anything like that. Doing a marathon was a thing for me. None of my friends did any marathons. But I watched the New York City Marathon for like 5 hours. For some reason, I'd be a little kid, with my feetsies pajamas. And the New York City Marathon would be on NBC for 5 hours the first Sunday in November. And I remember thinking as a kid, I never said it out loud, but I was like, that's a thing. That's a hill. That's a thing. I want to accomplish that. And then I did that. And then it was like, well, what's beyond? What's beyond? I bought I went to a website like Street Signs USA, like where DPWs make street signs. And I bought a street sign that said finish line, like the yellow diamond street sign, black lettering, finish line, 70.3 miles. And I hung it near my apartment door because I knew I needed to be jabbed with a stick. Like, you're not bringing your workout bag to work day? An entire day of not doing something. That's not going to become closer. And I knew I needed that. But yeah, I guess you're right. Like we do. We're not going to climb any hill or cross any finish line unless we're poked with sticks.
Yeah. And figuring out how to make the person want to be poked with sticks.
Different.
Or finding the person who already knows they want to be poked with sticks. Like that's where we can really make the most significant change.
So would a physical therapy clinic Would a different type of physical therapy clinic, and I know they're out there, your initial evaluation could be me walking you around my clinic because I got blaze pods on one wall and I got this. Oh, and then I'm just like, which one of these things looks like it would motivate you? I can figure out how to make it I can figure out how to make blaze pods a leg exercise. I can figure out how to make it a vestibular exercise. I can figure out how to make it an arm exercise. That's the creativity of a therapist. That's the magic. The big dumb animal stuff is like, which one of these things looks great? And you're like, because I'm going to put you on the Stairmaster, and you're like, I hate walking stairs. Well, then don't do that. Don't just be like, well, that's the best thing for you for the evidence. It's like, but they're not going to do it. Like, isn't that it? Like, do we use the gimmicks for good?
Yes, but I would say let's learn from what's working already. You know, I remember researching this. I don't know. I'm going to use fake numbers. 30,000 people register for the Boston Marathon, right? 29,999 of them know that they are going to lose. They know that they're not going to win the race, but it is a race. And they're paying for hotels. They're paying for flights. They're paying for training. They're paying for shoes. They're paying for all this stuff. They're investing thousands of dollars, hours of effort, lots of frustration, running the risk of injury, knowing that there's a chance they could get injured during the training, like all of this stuff. Yet you cannot keep them out of it. They're battling for a spot to lose the race.
Yeah.
And you take something like that and you're like, well, why did somebody take them through and like figure out how to motivate them to get them to want to do it? No. It was, they already knew what they wanted to do. And then they went out and found the resources to do it. I don't want to convince you, Jimmy, that this is the most important thing or try to figure out how to, motivate you. I want you to find my content, full circle, find my content, resonate with me, make the connection and say, that is the guy that's going to get me to what I want. That is the guy who's going to make the roadmap or have the resources for me to achieve my goals. I mean, that's why kids are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for the PT degree. That's why people pay to go lose a race. That's why, you look at Spartan race and all of these other like challenges. People will put themselves through misery because they want it. They're seeking it, and they will pay ridiculous amounts of money for it.
Yeah. I was pretty sure I wasn't winning any of the New York City marathons. I was pretty sure. There is a funny story. It's quick, I promise. The morning I ran my first one, there was a family party, not about the marathon, but my cousin was with my grandmother, who was probably in her 90s at the time, and she put the marathon on TV to be like, Grandma, Jimmy's running in the marathon, whatever. A few hours now, Grandma's interested. She's like, "What? Like he's on TV?" Yeah, there he is. Oh, there he goes. And my cousin got a text message. Jimmy finished. So she turns to my grandmother, who's in her 90s from Scotland, and said, Grandma, Jimmy finished the marathon. And Grandma said, first place. And Kara was like going to let her down easy. She goes, no. And she said, second place then. Like, it's just the optimism of grandmothers. I think about that all the time. That wasn't the reason I was running. I was running to have had done it.
Yeah.
And we're all different. Like for me, a weightlifting competition or a bodybuilding thing, hard, difficult, not my jam. I'm looking more, I want to do like more, I think I'm going to get back into tries, but I want to try some off-road stuff, like some, maybe mountain bike stuff in the woods, and let's change the terrain. Anyway, that's not the reason of the episode today, but it could be, because that's how live streams work. All right, you gave me some graphics. You want to walk me through which one do you want me to show first?
Put it up and let's see what you got.
This is the first one. All right. We're looking at the 5-year stock price of US physical therapy.
Yeah. So US Physical Therapy announced their, I think it was quarterly report. They beat expectation, but still, I mean, overall, 2%, like the stock sucks. Like the price sucks. The investment sucks. This is a 5-year chart. And so I would not want to be the person that put money into this stock. But hey, they're doing better than ATI, right? They're doing better than a lot of other big physical therapy businesses. But then you compare this, you told me PPS, Anytime Fitness, which ironically right across the street. So my clinic is behind me. Across the street is an Anytime Fitness and a NovaCare. They're in the plaza directly across the street from me. So I went into ChatGPT and said, hey, give me 2 or 3 of the publicly traded fitness companies, like I think I said Planet Fitness, and
Anytime
do you have
Fitness.
that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And so look, on the 5 years, these guys are up. Like, they're doing well, they're green. They charge a fraction of what US physical therapy charges to the consumer. They're more profitable. They have more growth. They have more opportunity. And so this takes me to Anytime Fitness, which had a major financial struggle during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much went bankrupt. They were, all of their branches were up for sale. Like, anybody could have come in and scooped this stuff up for pennies on the dollar. And I think, like, all right, if I took over an Anytime Fitness and I was a fitness-based physical therapist, I've got people coming and paying money. I think their price was like $30, $40 a month to work out. So I already made like this step in the right direction. People are coming to exercise. I don't have to convince people to exercise. I don't have to talk them into it. I don't have to bribe them with a back rub to lift a little bit of weight. And even yesterday in my clinic, love her to death, one of my longtime patients, she was mid 80s, freaking out because I expected her to lift a 10-pound bar with 2 hands. I was like, you realize this is 5 pounds in each hand. You live independently. You've got all of these great things going for you. You need to be strong. So, point being, I love that Anytime Fitness was at PPS. I think it's a great opportunity. I think this is where we see the worlds come together.
For someone who was there, I'd love to see what are the odds someone's watching right now live who was there, stopped by the booth and heard the pitch? That would be great. That would have been something great for us to have done yesterday to get that. But just from seeing the booth, and I can find the photo that I shared, was it Planet Fit? Anytime Fitness. Anytime was sitting there saying, come set up shop in our fitness. This is a flip, right? Normally, you'd need to like knock on the door and have your business plan and pitch and hope and pray and cross your fingers that they'd let you. Now they're opening the door. So what are we getting wrong here? Are we what we normally get wrong? We're over sciencing this and we're charging too much to a narrow audience. It feels like Planet Fitness or Anytime Fitness is the loss leader. You come in because you want to have done something. And look, we got a lot of toys. Come play. We're going to sell you the transformation. And then if you get hurt while you're here, well, there's Mike over in the corner. Go get your work done. But that's not the position I'd want. I'd want to own the building, right? You'd want to own the franchise, and you'd want to rent out space to a PT, a chiropractor, and an acupuncturist.
So historically, like when I was first introduced, I had never heard of physical therapy before. I was in college. I was working on a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. I was working at a YMCA doing an internship. They introduced me to the physical therapists upstairs in the PT department inside the YMCA. And, I started doing a volunteer thing with them as an aide. I remember the PTs had full access to the YMCA fitness center. Not a single one of them came down and did anything there. Not a single one of them referred PT patients to the personal trainers. None of the personal trainers recommended PT, even though those clients had orthopedic issues. There's a, territory dispute. Well, I can do what they do. I can do it better, all this kind of stuff. I remember thinking, like, why aren't we offering free memberships, trying to make this work both ways? Fast forward 25 years later, I've employed massage therapists that never wanted to give up massage clients to let a PT do PT with them. PTs don't want to send clients to the massage therapist. Like, there's all these turf wars and all this garbage. This is where it goes back to the only thing that I could imagine is we control everything. The personal trainer works for me. The massage therapist works for me. Everybody else works for me. Not I'm renting a room in a fitness center. I've never seen those relationships really work well. It's fine. You can go rent a space in a CrossFit gym, Anytime Fitness. You can build a practice in there. You can make money. But what it should be never seems to come to fruition.
Here's that photo. I found it. And I know how I found this. I've started interacting with Ocon on LinkedIn. He's the guy who posted this. He's more of a business person because his background was
like,
yeah, he's the business dude. That's his background. So it says, had the opportunity to attend PPS last week with Anytime Fitness, had the opportunity to learn a lot and see what's coming down the pike in our industry and get a glimpse of the vision fellow practice owners and vendors have. And it says physical, their booth says Anytime Fitness, let's get physical. Olivia Newton-John. And then physical therapy inside Anytime Fitness. They're putting it right out there. This is where you look like Ray Kroc and McDonald's and BJ Novak's character in that movie where he's like, you're not a burger business. You are a real estate business. Anytime Fitness feels a lot like BJ Novak and Michael Keaton sitting there going, what do you want? 0.3 of a penny on a burger? Or do you want the whole thing? Man, that's a smart play, right? If you're Anytime Fitness, it's a smart play.
I think what they realized during the pandemic is, look, we've got a huge footprint. We've got all this square footage. We've got access to a database of individuals who like fitness and working out and all of these different things. How do we monetize this? How do we put, people in our buildings, in our spaces that are going to utilize that space and pay for it? PTs, it just would make sense.
PTs want to get $1 extra out of every patient. Anytime Fitness is looking how to just absolutely crush the seesaw of value versus cost. And they're like, this and this and this and this. And I bet you they've got red light saunas because that's the thing. And I haven't been in an Anytime Fitness, but I bet you if you go to one close to you, they got cold tubs and, all the infrared stuff. Like they've got those things. Why? Because they understand who they're talking to and they want once they're in the building, we got you, right? And there's the weights and there's the trainer and there's this. PT is trying to find, are we trying to find the right exact person for the right thing to come in? And then we give them one-on-one, right? That's the thing. One-on-one, hands-on everything. Is that our mistake? Is we're being too specific?
Yeah. Simple answer. Yeah.
So that's why one chart looks like one thing and another chart looks like another thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let the market guide the decisions. Let the market tell us what it wants. Like, we cannot force the market to want what we want. I can't force you to want to work out the way I want you to want to work out. So either I make something that you already want or I build demand, and none of us have the budget to build demand. None of us have the budget. This goes back to the conversation about, do we save the name physical therapy?
Right.
Or do we move to something else? If somebody had the big enough budget, maybe you can convince a large enough segment of the population that no, physical therapy is what you want to do. You need physical therapy. You want to pay for physical therapy. Physical therapy is valuable beyond what the insurance will cover. Or we just say, hey, we got this new thing. This new thing is amazing. We'll cover, we'll do all of these things. We can give you what you want. We can make you feel good today and improve your health for the future. We can change your lifestyle. It's not called physical therapy. It's called something else.
We won't let it go though.
Well, you paid a lot of money. You spent $200,000 on the title physical therapist. It is hard to let that go. Even though it's still part of you, it can still be in you. You still have the knowledge and the experience and the information.
Well, I brought this up, but I can show the graphic, but I don't think it's imperative. Is like on Tim Ferriss's podcast. If you don't know who Tim Ferriss is, you're not listening to us. You already know who Tim Ferriss is if you're listening to us, right? Thought leader, just a guy who does thought experiments, 4-hour work week, and he had knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick. And then I had to look. I've been following Ben Patrick and I didn't even know what his name was, to be honest with you. I just knew it was knees over toes guy. And got good stuff, right? But I had to do digging because before I shared it in the group chat, I was like, is he a PT? And he's not. He's not a PT. But he's got a big enough audience that he can affect behavior. He can make a living doing that. From what I see in his content, his goal is to make a positive difference. You can make a positive difference. We know this as PT and make a living. Well, you can do it as knees over toes guy. Some PTs can't do it, unfortunately, in the climate. But this goes to further prove that there's a market for it. You can make a living doing it. And now look at Knees Over Toes guy. I mean, close to one of the largest shows that you're going to get on, right? Like whenever someone on fitness, I love this, like gets on like a Joe Rogan and chops it up for 3 hours. The next day, I just sit there with a bowl full of popcorn and watch everybody. Well, that actually, I love the actuallys in the comment section, right? And it's great. Everybody's pissed about what they said. Everybody's mad that they handed a microphone and a big audience to someone else. And 99.999% of those people are going to do nothing to increase their audience by 1% to potentially help thousands of extra people, and including themselves, because you can do that and make money doing that. So that's a good segue into what I'm doing, but it's not about what I'm doing. I'm doing some, I don't know, I made up the title, visibility and engagement reports. I'm essentially looking at APTA state chapters, websites, and then their socials and YouTube's, whatever. But then some people chimed in, is like, yo, I'm just a guy who's a PT. Can I have that too? And one of them is Sam. Sam is, I met him when we were working at Fox Rehab together. Great guy. Funny story about Sam later. I'll tell it later. I'll stay on track. I promise, Tony. I've known he's been doing headache stuff for a while. He treats people with headache. And so I go to his website. It wasn't bad. Like it was that, I would say that it was good. It had the elements. It didn't look slick. It looked good in all the right ways. The first thing I saw, Sam's face treating a person. That person was sort of cringing, like their head hurt, because that's who it was. The headline was, I'll get to the headline, what his perfect headline was, but it was like, your path to headache-free days. Look, I'm not reading it, but I can tell you, I can regurgitate what Sam's headline is. That means it's a good one. If I have a headache or someone has a headache, I'm not Googling it. I'm just going to go call Sam, right? And then I tripped upon on his YouTube channel, and I found this gem. Let me scroll down just a little bit because we like a little stats. It's got 724 subscribers. That's the beauty pageant metric, baby. I don't care how many subscribers he has. This one video has 11,000 views. This is how to place. The whole video is 6 minutes long. How long should my video be? Long enough to answer the question, right? Where to place the TENS unit pads for rapid headache relief. Like, if you have a headache and someone told you to go to Amazon, which, by the way, he has links to the TENS unit. Slow clap, Sam. Well done. You want to know what to do now. Like, and Sam's like, he doesn't start off with, I'm a physical therapist, I've got training and blah, blah. He's just like, okay, if you've got a headache, this is where you want to place it. Okay, got it. So thoughts on this, Tony, because this is your area, right? Which is like, hey, lead them to a solution. Don't be cute. Don't be clever. Be clear. Sam did that. And would you look at that? 11,000 people magically showed up to watch his video. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, when you shared the thumbnail, I didn't know Sam. I kind of think I know him from LinkedIn, maybe.
He's all over that. Yep.
But I saw that thumbnail. I saw the electrodes. I thought it was like a joke. I thought it was, he's being silly. I didn't make the connection between headache or anything. So just like any consumer, first thing you do is you see the image. The image catches your attention. You see the pads. You see, it's like, what is this? I don't understand. Is he, like Jackass? You remember the Jackass show? They put TENS unit pads like on their scrotum and did stuff. That's what that caught my attention with. Then I looked at the headline, the title of the video, TENS pad placement, which is a very well-known keyword. And then I saw it go to headaches. I clicked on the video, started watching the video, and I was like, oh, there's a real video. Like this is not just a gag to get attention. It's not clickbait. This is for real. I think the challenge for Sam is nobody realizes you can use a TENS unit for headaches. I had no idea. It's not even something I ever would have considered. Yep. So he is trying to cultivate an audience out of ignorance because we don't know that you can do this. That's an uphill battle. Yeah. That's hard. But I definitely think, that's a 2-year-old video. I think with time placement, I'm going to look into his channel a little more. the channel could probably blow up, because headache is such a massive topic. And this is a different approach. Knees over toes. Man, you would think nobody in the world, if you put your knee 1 millimeter over your toes during a squat, your knee's going to explode and the world will end. And then this guy comes out and says, that's total garbage. We could do it all the time. You know, like, this is something that I think he can do. He can bust a bunch of myths about headache and the channel would explode.
And right now he does telehealth, but just in one state. In my mind, I'm like, Sam, we got to get you credentialed in all 50, bro. Like, but you need the funnel to get there, to be a reason to be credentialed in Montana to treat headaches, right? But yeah, so a little bit of improvement. I mean, look, guy got 11,000 views on something that he knows really well. It was probably easy for him, the content anyway. I think I kept pushing him. I'm like, turn a camera on, but I don't know how to, I don't care. Turn the camera on. And he did it.
Even without the audio, can you just click that and let me see the first 2-3 seconds?
Let me zoom out here. Hang on. Oh, we've got an ad, of course. They're monetizing Sam's channel.
That's good. Make a little bit of money.
Heck yeah. I'll skip the ad, though, so I'm not going to get you the nickel, Sam. So here's the first couple seconds. Hold on. He doesn't do a big fancy intro. He doesn't do anything. Boom. Right into it.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I would want to see the hook or hear the hook and then go from there. But yeah, I think his channel obviously has enough history, enough time, probably poised for some real growth. And then the question is he doing this on Facebook? Also, is he doing it on Instagram? Yeah. Where else is he going? I still think the easiest, like, new viewership is Facebook right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that, do we think?
I mean, from the experts that I listen to, from the content that I've seen, my understanding is, you know, Facebook is trying to maintain relevance. Facebook is trying to regain and rebuild the audience. My experience, YouTube is struggling a little bit. You know, there's TikTok and there's other platforms, obviously. I don't know. It just depends on what the platform is prioritizing. And from the people I talk to, the easiest growth right now is coming from Facebook business page.
Interesting. We're looking at his website. If you're just listening to the podcast, his website is super basic, nothing flashy about it, which I love. KelosPhysicalTherapy.com. The first thing you see, headline, your path to more headache-free days. If you have headaches lasting more than a few days, right? Not just the transient headaches because you're hungover or whatever, Sam's your guy. Your path to more headache-free days. Yes. I'm just moving on. And then the video, front and center, right in the middle, the static image, it should autoplay. I would love if it autoplay. We can work on that. I'd also love if this video was a YouTube embed. It's not. It's just a native video. I'd love if it did both of those things. But it's Sam looking with someone on a plinth, and it looked like it screamed, this person has a headache. This is me, right? This is me if I have a headache. Very, 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 very basic. What do you see? What would you like to see? He's got a call to action. It's a different button.
Does he have a course? Does he have a course on there?
He doesn't, but Sam, if you're watching this right now, you will have a blueprint to more headache-free days. Everything on your YouTube will look the same as your website. He's a little disjointed, but if that's the biggest problem we have, that's 20 minutes in Canva. We solve that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'd be looking at, like, if I don't deal with headaches. I have people in the family who do. If I landed on the page, I love that you've got the video. It's actually him. It's not stock photography or any of that stuff. The headline, more headache-free days, makes total sense. I would be watching the video. And then from there, I'd be like, all right, how do I book a call? How do I buy a course? How do I find more information? You know, what is this guy selling? What is this guy offering?
So my review, ChatGPT helped me put words to it. I sort of knew it. I know what Tony's talking about, but now I have words for it. So I was reviewing APTA chapters and Sam came up. ChatGPT and my auditor that I built, we call them doors. Do I know, like, APTA chapters, you're like, well, it's for everybody. It's like, it's not. Students care about difference than clinicians care about educators. And you have to sort of at least have a door. It needs to be clear. Oh, you're here. Why? Somehow you got here. A video, someone told you had to come here. You were given membership, whatever. When you land there, it needs to be stunningly clear. For Sam, it should be what Tony's talking about. Your headaches. Is it the course? Autonomous, right here. Do you really need Sam? It's going to cost more, but that's the door. So it's the self-taught course. It's book with Sam, and it's here's the tools Sam recommends. I don't think you want more than 3 doors. That starts to get a little, pre-2000 yahoo.com when it was like 40,000 links. Did you ever hear of a story about Google?
What?
I forget who was involved, but there was someone who used to write an email to the guy in charge of Google. And I don't know if it was like Sergey Brin or whatever the hell the guy's names are. And the email would just be a number. It'd be like Tony getting an email from Jimmy, and it would just be like 12. And then a few days later, it would be like 22. And they're like, what the hell is this? The guy was just sending them how many words were on their homepage. And it was a subtle poke to be like, 1, Google. Because you look at like Ask Jeeves. You've been to Ask Jeeves lately, Tony? No, that's a search engine from 1 billion years ago, kids. It was just vomit town. It was like a classified ads. It looked like Craigslist. It works for Craigslist because Craigslist, you want lots of things. A search engine is supposed to be the opposite of Craigslist, but all these search engines looked like Craigslist. So I digress. For me, it's, 3 doors, right? Self-taught. There's your headline, your path to headache-free days. How do you want to solve it? 3 options. Take the course right now, book a time with Sam, or, I don't know, buy the toys. What would you think his 3rd door would be? Watch my videos? Maybe watch my videos, take the course, book with Sam.
So what I was thinking was a community. I don't know if he has a Facebook group. I don't know if he has a school community. Like those would be the 3 that I would look at. Just because, and I mean, the reality is, put yourself on the consumer side once again. By the time somebody actually gets to the website, like I have not gone to a website. I can't even remember how long. My website hardly gets any traffic. It's you go to the social, you see if they're still around, you see if they're still in business.
Right.
And then from there, you go to the next step in the funnel. You go to either book the call, buy the course, join the community, whatever it's going to be. The website is, I don't know, man. It's hard to justify putting time and resources. But that's also why I probably haven't updated my website in like 2 or 3 years, maybe 5. I don't ever go to it.
I was working on mine yesterday just to like zhuzh it up. And then like I was doing an audit on myself before I went and did these APTA chapters and businesses. I was like, maybe I should do it for myself because we're the last person we're going to help.
Right.
It's easy for me to see other people, but I was doing the same process on my own, and it was asking me to do some things that were simple. But my website's it's a repository for past episodes. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I want you to what do you want people to do? Listen, subscribe, like one of those 2. I want you to listen. If you like it, if you listen 3 times, we're gonna nudge you to subscribe towards the end, right, or somewhere in the middle. I think Sam's got a big opportunity here. I would like to see him. You know what? No, I would like to see him licensed in the states that he's licensed. I would like to see him build the other 2 things we just mentioned, which is this automated, this self-paced course that Sam really teaches, but he teaches once, and then people take it thousands of times. And then this community, which might cost Sam 30 minutes of time a day to cultivate the community or cherry pick people that need help who aren't getting help from the community. Go, sounds like this door over here. Do you want the course or do you want to meet Sam? I want Sam doing community cultivation. I think that's, man, I missed that. That is the right answer. Is the juice worth the squeeze, or can you have a Facebook group? I mean, do you need to pay for school or?
You do not need to pay for school. School's $99 a month. I mean, that's a big commitment for somebody who doesn't have proof of concept.
Yeah.
The people who are using school well, love it. Awesome. I use Thinkific as my course platform. They have communities just like school has. They have similar tools and stuff, but you have to go where you naturally are led. I spend time on Facebook, so everything for me is going to bias toward Facebook. I don't even do Instagram. I never go to Instagram. I don't pay attention. There's messages in there that I don't see.
Awesome.
I am just naturally drawn toward Facebook. And so that's where I tend to connect with people best. But that's because that's what I like. That's what I do.
Somebody asked me yesterday, like, hey, I don't see you on TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not on TikTok, but it's a huge market. I'm like, you're not wrong. People will start with me and go like, I need to be on all the channels. And I'm like, which ones do you use? And they're like, well, just these two. I go, let's start there. Here's why. You know the physics of the environment. Right. I think you can now, but you used to not be able to like retweet on Instagram, but now you can, right?
Yeah.
So that was like, well, there's no real, it's harder to share that way. You can collaborate real well. If we make a great reel where Tony drops a knowledge bomb and I go, woo, and we make a reel out of it, we can be collaborators. And then that video gets exposed to both of our audiences. That helps each other. There's that's easier to do, but you have to know the physics of the platform. Again, if you don't eat at a restaurant or you're not going to want to spend time there. I'm not saying TikTok's wrong. It's just, I've played around with it a few times, and what I saw there, I was like, doesn't feel like it's designed for me. And that's okay.
But we drive by hundreds and hundreds of stores, restaurants, shops. We've never been in them. Yeah. But they still exist. There's still people who want those. Now, I will say, I have learned a hard lesson, which is I have no idea what next year is going to be like, what 5 years from now is going to be like, what's going to happen down the road. And I have found that there is value in planting seeds and letting them grow. So I still cross-post to Instagram. I still cross-post to Pinterest and TikTok and other platforms. Even though I don't make it my focus right now is Facebook and a little bit of YouTube. But it's because 2 years from now, TikTok might explode again, and there might be an opportunity, and I want to have a presence there that I can then pick back up, but it's not going to detract from where my focus is today. It's just going to be something I kind of throw a little dirt, throw a couple seeds. If something grows, awesome, I'm going to let it happen.
Yeah. I've done maybe 10 audits of APTA state chapters, and now I've got, progress update. I started a new company a week and 2 days ago. 4 days in, I hated the name of the company and changed the name of the company. I was like, am I just stuck with this? Did I just name my baby? And now I've got to call this child this thing until I die? No, you can just change the name. So I just changed the name like 3 days later. But step one was reaching out to people I already knew, warm relationships, and go, hey, I'm doing this thing. I would love to see if it's a good fit. Here's what I'm going to do before we meet. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do an audit of your website, your social channels, your YouTube, your podcast, whatever I can see from the outside. I do not want access as a member. I don't want behind the scenes. I want to be dumb, right? A lot of these people and chapters I've worked with and been paid by, I've never been to their website before. No, there was no reason, right? There was no reason. I was going to their conference or whatever. So I did these audits, and I was like, man, I'm going to get so granular. I'm going to get into the weeds, and it's going to be great. I'm going to give them insights they never knew. And then I did 5 of these things, and I was like, same thing. It's the same thing. Like there's an ooh every once in a while, but most of the time, 90% of the time, it's like a knee evaluation. Every once in a while, you find like, whoa, what the hell is this? But most of the time, it's like, yeah, okay, got it. Act surprised. Ooh, this is bone on bone. You tell me 11 out of 10 pain. Oh my gosh. But you've seen it. I'm going to walk them through and be like, yes, you are an individual snowflake. Here's the thing. You're copying every other chat. This is for state chapters. They're copying each other. You could show me a zoomed out snapshot of all their photos from Facebook, and I wouldn't be able to tell one chapter from another. They're all the same colors. It's all Canva templates. They're stock images. And also, it's not going to surprise anybody. It's not going to surprise anybody. All right, so I'm doing the audits. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the problem is you're copying other chapters that aren't successful. They're not doing great. If you're going to copy, which is totally fine, learn from the best, copy the best. Go find something that is successful and copy that.
Here's what I say to companies or chapters. Doesn't matter. They're all companies, right? Before the meeting or after the first meeting, before the second meeting, I say, each of you, I want you to do this. In the next 7 days, we're going to meet in a week. the next time you stop and watch a video or stop and read a post for more than 3.5 seconds, screenshot it. I do not care what it is. In fact, I do not want it to be in the industry we're in, right? Whatever that is. You do not need to give an explanation of why you screenshot it. Just screenshot it, send them all to me, and I'm going to put it up like a vision board. And then I zoom out and I just go, what's the common theme here? Well, do you see faces? Let's look at your thumbnails of all your Facebook posts. Do you see faces? Not really. I see Canva templates and big words. Got it. When we do see faces, are they real people? Well, yeah, they're real people. I go, cool. Who's that guy? And they're like, it's a guy from Canva. Like, yeah, he's a real guy. He's just not someone you really know. So now does this look authentic or artificial? It looks artificial. This is motivational interviewing. But I like the exercises like getting ready with me videos. We had to explain this to you once before, right? Because I don't think you had seen one of those before, right?
Right.
That's like where like I saw the first time I saw it, I was like, this is ridiculous. And then the 13th time I saw it, I was listening to the whole damn video. It's when someone's doing something like putting on makeup or doing whatever and telling you a story. They hacked our brain again. We're big dumb animals. We need visuals. There were those videos for a while that were telling a story and someone was playing. It was just a first person view of someone playing a video game.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the story. We're big dumb animals. We need that. So anyway, just screenshot it and send it. Why does it capture your attention? Great. How do you use this new information? It's not rocket surgery. I'm not going to ask you to make 100 different kinds of videos. I want you to make 3 different kinds of videos 100 ways. Figure out what your 3 formats are, and then let's batch create the hell out of them and call it a day. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing audits. I've got 7 phone calls today.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Companies make sense. I mean, the same thing I'm doing. APTA state chapters and academies, they're companies.
Right.
They're just volunteer. Their membership is comes through APTA membership. Companies obviously a little bit different. So that's what I'm doing. I'm walking through the results with Sam, a couple APTA chapters, and then having initial conversations with some people. How's my strategy so far? This is me asking out loud how my strategy. Well, it hasn't worked yet.
Well, it doesn't matter what I say. You have proof of concept. The fact is you put it out there. People said yes. And, now you go with it. Yeah. And this is where I think we let the market guide what it is that you were doing. If you put that out there and it was crickets, okay, nobody wants it. No big deal. Like it's totally fine. I want to hear, let's discuss this publicly because this applies to smaller providers who are afraid to post things because what do we do with the negative comments and feedback and stuff? I told you offline on the chat, I was like, man, every APTA post that I see, it's all negative comments underneath it. Now, I never see them engage. I never see them communicate or talk or do anything. But it's like the only comments they generate are negative comments, angry people. What do you think about this? Like, it doesn't stop them. They continue to post.
Yeah. So what do I think about it? It's been the way. I feel like it's been worse now. I feel like they're taking the brunt of reductions in payment. Now there's this new thing, which I don't understand. Now there's a bunch of degrees that are not professional degrees. What does that mean?
Please.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Okay, we need to talk about this. We'll talk about this in a minute. Let's finish the conversation about.
Here's the thing about APTA. I've been a member first because I was a student and it was just, free. It was in my tuition, but it was free. Right. And then I just continued to be a member. Why? Because the people around me are members and I didn't want to be a jackass and be like, not rowing the boat. But I'm also a joiner. I'm also a guy who's like, come on, man, here's my $500. Let's go mess stuff up. Let's better together. I buy in. I don't know if I drink the Kool-Aid. I drink a few beers at the happy hour, but I watch and see what they do. And from all I know, because I don't know about advocacy, I'm pretty sure they're doing a great job. Well, they're doing what they can do. Are the results what we want? I don't know. We want it better, faster, bigger. Are they? No. Is that how it goes? Probably. I don't know how advocacy really works or how fast things go, but I'm glad they're doing it because I sure as hell don't want to be doing it or know how to do it. APTA is going to be the lightning rod of everything because they're like, we're your professional association. So they will take 99% of the hate And even if they get a win, you've seen it, people just pile on. They go, this isn't a win. This is bullshit. It's not really a win. This is what your billion-dollar company does. Great. Don't join. Hard stop. Don't join. It is confusing, though, because people do rush to the comments to do just this. It's a pile of Karens. I don't know. I guess we love to bitch. And there's a comment section. I mean, yeah, Kyle Covington is a friend. Now he's the new APTA president. He's doing the thing we would probably tell him to do. Be a face. Communicate little, communicate often. And every time he steps onto a camera, people just go, whack, 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 whack. Why? Because it feels good. It feels, look at these thumbs. It feels so good. Great. Do you feel better? Awesome. You're still not a member? Great. Moving on. Kyle doesn't care. He probably does care because he's a human. What do you think?
That would be interesting if the positioning is, hey, I know I'm going to get the hate. There's plenty of entertainers and other individuals on social media. I swear, I think 30% or more of the TikTok like videos I see, I don't think these are real people. I think these are accounts just designed to generate anger and hate so that they get more
making
views.
Comments? Making comments?
Just everything, like making comments, generate views, generate anger. We know that anger is a strong emotion that gets engagement. And if they just want more money from advertisers, so they create videos that are artificial that just get more views. My thing with this, now that you're saying it, is like, I wonder if deep inside the psyche, APTA understands it doesn't matter. We'll take the hate. This is our role. We're going to get, everything thrown at us. And again, even going back to Joey Albert and said, what should APTA be doing? I don't know. I really don't. What's the role of a professional organization? I don't know. I don't think, it really matters all that much. I guess we need one, but yeah, just absorb the anger and let therapists focus on their patients. Maybe that's the role.
Maybe we get Ben. Ben is saying the thing is important, like the professional. Well, that's a side conversation. We'll bring Ben on. I'll bring Ben on or something. We'll do a live stream because someone has to explain it to me.
Well, from the profession, are we professionals? I've tried to research it. I've tried to look at it. Like you said, maybe Ben can educate us. My understanding, the point that I keep hearing is it's going to limit how much money kids can borrow to become physical therapists. Oh, isn't that a good thing? Like, didn't we come to a realization somewhere that as long as government keeps pumping free money into the market, not free money into the market, prices go up. Yeah. We don't want kids paying $300,000 for a license. Let's bring the prices down. Just call me whatever you want. I don't care what you call me. Right. If you don't want to call me a professional, it doesn't affect how much I earn, doesn't affect anything except how much I can borrow. And we don't want kids borrowing more than they can afford to pay back. Because guess what? I don't want loan forgiveness. So let's cap loans. People want to cap rents. Agreed. People want to cap everything. Let's cap how much you can borrow and, then go out there and make the money.
Yeah. Someone had made a comment. And again, I'm not like a big numbers guy. I know this shocks all of you. But yeah, we shouldn't be making a ton of money on our next generation through loans, right? Like, it's like, we shouldn't lose money. I'm not saying give everybody their money back and go, that was a bad idea, but we're going to let you slide. But also like 7% interest on a loan for an education. Because I've said before, in the hockey locker room, people are like, these guys want loan forgiveness. I'm like, I'm with you. I don't think they should get it either, but it shouldn't be like an exorbitant interest rate. Like, it shouldn't be a money maker. I'm not saying don't make enough to cover your costs and maybe a little bit, but like 7% on a giant loan to get the degree. What happens if people stop becoming doctors, nurses, and PTs? There's no one to get you out of bed or wipe your butt in 20 years. And you go, these kids don't want to work. It's like, no, they made the smart move. You told them to make 30 years ago. Now you're screwed. There's no butt wipers. There's no people to get you out of bed. There's no people to help you walk again. You fucked around. You got to find out now, but it's too late to go jump in the DeLorean and go back in time.
Yeah. I don't know. But if I'm going to take the risk on loaning somebody $300,000 that I think they probably can't pay back, I'm going to charge a lot of interest.
I was going to say 3%. Ben said student loans for professional degrees should be capped at 2%. The only reason I was saying 3% is like, maybe it should match. No, never mind. I was going to say match the housing. That's not a good idea because that thing go wow. But it should be something. It's like,
yeah, why is somebody going to loan at 2%? Like this goes back to, we can't put in caps. We can't put in price controls. We can't do this stuff. All it does is it say, I've got money to loan. I'm a bank. I'm a lender. I'm a whatever. I am not going to loan somebody money at 2% when I can put it somewhere else for 4 or 5 or 10.
Right.
You know, like that's about, let the free market do its job.
All right. What do you want to talk about next? I've got a quote, or I've got a post from Seth Godin that I think I shared with you guys, and I felt like it matched up what we were talking about.
Yeah, let's use this to wrap up the show.
If you don't know who Seth Godin is, just, I don't even know, what would you call Seth Godin? He writes books, but he's not really a writer because his books are like dumb, simple, which is brilliant, right? But anyway, he's posted a blog post every day for like 15 years. He's a thinker, and then he's a sharer. And I feel like this was important when I shared it when we were talking about on Tuesday. I immediately opened my email. I have 42 emails. I open Seth's every time. There's a lesson in it. Why? Because when he sends an email, there's at least, he doesn't aim to have 100 nuggets in every email. One great one, but every single day. He doesn't send boulders. He just drops a pebble on your head every single day. And he's talking about what's worth more. Kind of Blue from Miles Davis. Is that a song or is that an album? It's probably
I don't know.
I don't know. But it's Miles Davis. I don't even know who Miles Davis is. I know who Miles Davis is, but he's a legend, right? Jazz. Or the third Boston album. And then he intentionally does that because it's like, what's the third Boston album? Like, I don't know. So the whole breakdown of his post really is clients will pay more for something useful than something was difficult. And I feel like this resonates with what we were just talking about now and on Tuesday, which is, I know you went to school for 3 years and it's a doctorate and it's hard and you got to do the clinicals and you got to and you can't work. No one cares. Like, I mean, I care. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had a friend going through, that sounds really rough. But like, I'm not going to pay you more because it was harder to do. I will pay you more because I can't poop in my toilet and I need to poop and I'm going to pay you to come now. That's why people get pissed when they're like, these plumbers are making all this money and they didn't have to go through school. That's not why we pay you. We don't pay you because plumbing school was hard. We pay you because it's useful. You can still do that even if your degree was hard. How do you shift it? That's what Seth was trying to say. How do you shift it to make sure it's clear? It is useful. Your degree is useful. Not how all of us are using it though. I had a guy I met through a friend the other day. Dude's in his 70s or 80s. And my buddy introduced me because I'm going to be helping him out with some communication stuff. And he goes, Jimmy's a great communicator. Also happens to be a physical therapist. Like, I love how the fact that my doctorate degree is thrown in third in line. I don't use it a whole lot. My buddy doesn't really even know me as a PT. And the guy goes, hang on a second. Do you come to people's houses? I'm like, oh, I don't actually do the PT very much. And he's like, I still need this because I think I'm going to fall when I'm at. He understood the usefulness. He didn't ask me where my clinic was or how many he was like, what do I need out of it? Hang on a second. I know let me get your number. So no one cares how hard it was to get the thing. What can you do with it? I'm not even going to say I have a parting shot. That's Seth's my parting shot. The usefulness.
I love it. Nothing to add. I'm just going to say, take these nuggets, like take these ideas, use them as inspiration, plant seeds with them. I liked Seth Godin a lot more in the past.
Oh, okay.
I liked who's the Find Your Why guy?
Simon Sinek
a lot more in the past. There are a lot of people that 10, 15, 20 years ago, I consumed every piece of their content. Then as I grew, changed, developed, what I focus on has also changed. I don't resonate as much with Seth anymore. The concepts are universal. Like the concepts they're classic.
You could have written that 20 years ago.
Yeah. It starts to become the personality that I have conflict with. But regardless, this is what takes the conversation 10 levels deeper. It's not just, I'm a licensed physical therapist, I can treat your pain. I'm Tony Maritato. I understand these frustrations. Let's figure out how to get past these frustrations, whatever they are, and again, did that transcend physical therapy? Did you get a chance? I tagged you on the Jared Hall post. Did you get a chance?
Yeah, I know Jared. We should have him on soon.
We should. Did you see the post though, that he was talking about what I think he was saying what physical therapy became? And I said, did we outgrow the profession? He put that into ChatGPT. It was a great summary. It was a great perspective. So yeah, let's see what we can do about these conversations into the future. Wrapping up the show now. Is it Thursday? It's Thursday.
Yeah. Wow. Thanksgiving's in a week, dude.
It is. We got to think about what we're thankful for, because I think Dave put it out there. We're going to make a show on Tuesday about being thankful.
I thought we were just going to dress as pilgrims. That was not the idea.
Are you allowed to say that? I am offended. You've triggered me. I don't think you're allowed to use that word.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'll dress as a turkey because that's what I feel like most of the time.
You saw the video about spanking a turkey to cook it, right?
I did not.
Okay.
Wait, that's the thing?
Go to YouTube. This is a physics video. You can actually raise the temperature by spanking a turkey. Somebody created a machine that just spanks a raw turkey until it's cooked.
I did see a video, or I did see a post. This will from Gary V the other day, and it had two turkeys. He's doing all these posts now where it's like thinking and doing. It's two boxing gloves, and one's like pristine and the other is like beaten in. It's like doing. And there was two turkeys, and one was burnt and one was like golden brown. And it was like, this is 1 hour at 900 degrees, or this is, 3 hours at 275. And it's like, sometimes great things take time. It's like, man, that could be a billboard for something. Like he drops billboards, but that's the thing, which is like, sometimes these things, the worth it stuff takes time. All right, we'll be back on Tuesday, apparently wearing outfits. I've got to go to my outfit closet. I do have a box of like random things. Appreciate the comments from Bed. David, I just saw David commenting there. If you heard something or you have a topic or you have insight, drop us a line. We're not hard to follow. Tony Maritato, Dave Kittle, who's with the young one today, and PT Pinecast on all the socials. Tony, have a good weekend, man. Oh, we'll talk soon. I got some crazy ideas.
Yeah.
Man. All right, man.
Yeah.